Actually, it had already started with farmers all around the country. They were in terrible shape, and part of that was the new machines, they're getting more efficient, and all the farmers are just producing like crazy. And what that means is they're not only exhausting their soil, but they're also just crashing crop prices because there was such a surplus at that time. And that's one of the reasons that another one of the New Deal programs is agricultural adjustment and crop subsidies, basically paying farmers not to produce crops because the United States was overproductive at that time, which contributed to the depression that came on in the 1930s. So it's sort of like today. I mean, if you live around here and you're relatively middle class, you don't realize that in fact there's a depression going on in this country right now, because we don't generally see it in the Bay Area. But you go out to the San Joaquin Valley, they're in a Great Depression out there.
Or Solano County.
Or Solano County.
Vallejo has got the highest raising poverty rate of any place in the United States. It's a suburbanization of poverty.
Do you know what the percentage is?
No, but there's some people just did a report on it, the Brookings Institute, local people. I have a copy.
Okay.
So how do you think the situation, the agricultural depression, could be reversed right now?
We're not here to solve the problem.
Just one note, because we mentioned the conservation efforts. So for the young people here today, the very first program of the New Deal was the Civilian Conservation Corps.
Right.
It ultimately employed 3 million young people, and the Corps did lots of different kind of work. We're most familiar with it in our parks at the national, state, and local level. But the Conservation Corps also worked with the Soil Conservation Service, did conservation work, and they also planted billions of trees. So the Conservation Corps, the whole idea of it was to assist with these conservation efforts and to get over the big problem of the Dust Bowl.
Harvey and I went to the little White House in Georgia a few years ago, and we stood on the top of a hill that Roosevelt liked to go to and looked out over a huge sea of trees that stretched from Georgia into Alabama. Those trees were all 75 years old because they'd been planted by the CCC on exhausted cotton land.